Today we're going to be taking a look at the Roadmaster line of dual hitch receiver adapters. Most motorhomes are going to have a hitch on the back, and it's going to come in handy whenever we go to flat tow our vehicle. But another problem arises. Once we hook it up and we have our tow bar in place, where are we going to put our bikes? We don't want to take up any more room than we have to on the inside, and putting a bike inside our vehicle can be a problem as well. That's where our Roadmaster Dual Hitch Adapter is going to come into play. Now this can be either in the rise or drop position. Our Roadmaster series of dual hitch adapters are going to fit into a 2" by 2" receiver tube opening, so they'll fit your RVs that have a 2" hitch on it. And they're also going to provide us with 2 more receiver tube openings. That way we can carry a bike rack or a cargo carrier while flat towing our vehicle. Each one in the line is going to have a 400-pound tongue weight along with a 10,000-pound gross trailer weight rating. Now keep in mind that these are designed to work with tow bar setups to flat tow your vehicle, and they shouldn't be used with trailers. So we did put our hitch adapter in the rise position. So we put that 4" on top, but since it does provide us with that 2" riser drop on the other side, it dropped it down 2 inches, which made it almost perfectly level. Making sure your flat tow setup is nice and level is always important, because we don't want any extra stress either on our front suspension of our car or pulling down on the hitch on our motorhome. That way we just have a nice even pulling weight when we're going down the road. Now each one of our Roadmaster dual hitch adapters is going to provide you with a 2" drop or rise on one end, and on the other end it will have varying height differences depending on which one you pick up. There's going to be several different sizes available: 2 1/4" riser drop, a 4" riser drop, there's going to be a 6" rise and drop, and also an 8" riser drop. So we'll go ahead and show you how to measure for the appropriate riser drop for your flat tow setup. Most tow bar manufacturers are going to want no more than a 3" difference between the connection point of the motorhome and the connection point of the car, so you want to try to get it as level as you can. The way we're going to measure is you want to make sure that your motorhome is on nice flat level ground, and that if you do have air suspension, make sure it's aired up at the traveling height. And we can take a tape measure and we're going to measure from the ground just right to the inside top edge of the receiver tube opening. And in our case, it's just a little bit over 22.5 inches. Now we can move over to the car side. Now again, on the car, you want to make sure that it's on nice level ground. And we'll go ahead and park it. This time we're going to be measuring right to the center of where our tow bar is going to attach at. So here you can see it's just under about 19.5 inches. So we're right at that 3" difference, maybe a tiny bit over. So in our case, since the car connection point is lower, we're going to need a drop. But if yours was higher, you would get a rise. So there is that 3" difference there. So we're going to need anywhere up to a 3" drop to make it nice and level. And in our case, we're going to put it in the rise position. So we can just slide the shank into the receiver tube and line up the pinholes. Now our dual hitch adapter does not come with a hitch pin, but you can pick those up here at etrailer.com, as well as any locks if you'd like to purchase those. It is going to accept a standard 5/8 pin and clip, so we can just put it in, make sure everything's secure, and then we can load our bikes up. So now that we have our bikes hooked up, we have a spot down here below that we can hook our tow bar up to, so we'll go ahead and do that now as well. So as you can see, we have our bikes loaded up as well as the tow bar being hooked up to our car. That way we can take our bikes with us and we can hit the road and start our adventure. And that'll finish up your look at the Roadmaster line of dual hitch receiver adapters.